H-A-T. It's in the name.
Welcome into the Helping Healing Humor with Ben and Travis podcast. We're going to talk a little bit about some big news on the horizon for us and you, the listener. We're also going to talk a little CYC Dallas 2024 family right after these important messages. This episode of the Helping Healing Humor with Ben and Travis podcast is presented by Faulkner University. Faulkner University is a private Christian liberal arts university based in Montgomery, Alabama, with a mission to provide an education anchored by not only intellect, but also character and service. The Faulkner experience aims to educate the whole person. Every individual matters every day. We all want to become better versions of ourselves. No one wants to remain trapped where they are because of missed opportunities and unrealized dreams. At Faulkner University, we believe your dreams don't have an expiration date. We understand that you're looking for more than a degree. You want to find your niche and thrive in your career. Whether you're a high school senior just beginning your trek or an adult student looking for a better path, Faulkner is here to help guide your journey. Go to faulkner.edu to apply or get more info. That's faulkner.edu. I'm Travis Creasy. That's All Pro Counselor with 3 Chord Counseling, Ben Hayes.
What is happening? Are you as tired as I am?
Dude, I am roasted, toasted, and ready for bed and ready to head on home, hopefully before this winter storm hits. Be racing a little bit. I think it's going to be Monday, though.
It's looking like
So
late
on Tuesday,
Sunday night,
yeah.
Monday. So by Tuesday, everybody's going to be tired of the snow and the ice and ready for it to leave. But because it's going to be like 6 degrees at home, that might not happen. Yeah. But maybe you're listening as you're snowed in from work or snowed in at work. I don't know which one it'll be.
And if you are, we want to make sure that you understand the best way, quickest way. I won't say best way. Hopefully you're praying for us in the ministry through this podcast and all the things we do. But the quickest way to help us out, prayer is still the quickest way to help us out. Either way, a great way to help us out, especially if you're snowed in. Share this with people.
There you go.
Send the link to people. Hey, check it out. But as we do that, and it's a big CYC, always is. Great to be with the folks out here in Dallas, people driving from everywhere. We got big news in that pre-orders for the Adventures of Ben and Travis and the Worrycoaster are now open. And so you can pre-order that book. And it'll be shipped right to you, or you'll pick it up at CYC, maybe 25. I'm hoping it'll be sooner than that.
Hope so.
It comes down to the pre-orders. But the pre-order's open for that, Ben, and I am super excited about this children's book that's going to deal with practical ways that kids can handle anxiety.
Me too. And I would say that you'll be the first to order, but you won't be because there's already several people who've ordered, but we need several more. So
we're looking for at least 100 pre-orders by the end of CYC Pigeon Forge. That's the last weekend in February, last full weekend in February.
That's like the minimum.
That's the minimum.
What we really like to do is get like 250.
250.
Right? And that's going to unlock some things for somebody.
Yeah, we're going to do a giveaway. If we hit 250 by the end of CYC Pigeon Forge, then everybody on our email list, everybody on our Patreon, everybody who's purchased a pre-order, don't think I'm leaving anybody out, will be entered to win a big prize that we haven't determined yet.
Undetermined.
Some of our Patreon folks and maybe some of our pre-order people, we may give them some options. We may throw some out there. And
we got some ideas.
Yeah.
We just haven't completely settled on it. And there might even be a choice, or like you said.
In the years past, we've done Apple AirPods.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that correctly, right?
I think so, something like that.
And we'd like to go bigger than that.
Yeah.
I'd love to do a bigger giveaway than that, but we do have to hit that 250 mark.
Pretty solid.
We're a good bit away from that. Obviously, the basement is 100.
If we hit 250, we're going to be really far down the road in paying for this book up front. And like we said here at Dallas, we've determined as we've researched this that kids books not necessarily a big old money making thing.
Yeah.
So we just want to get some material out there, and so we need some help to do it because we're not made of money, and it just takes a lot to do it. So if you can help us, that would be fantastic because the first one's going to be on worry and some practical things that you can do. It's a story, of course, the adventures of Ben and Travis, us as kids, and yet we're kind of doing some things and teaching some lessons as kids to other kids, hopefully, who read the book, and maybe give some practical tips at the end to deal with. And what we would really love to do is make it a series, that there's other books that are coming dealing with similar things, so you can read these to your church groups, to your Bible classes, to your kids, to your classes at school, or as gifts. Somebody mentioned today, they were like, these would make great teachers' gifts for the teachers in the classroom, the teachers in your family. And so, maybe we could have them by next Christmas. I think we will.
With your help, we can make it happen.
Yeah, but we just need to get the ball rolling. So if you haven't pre-ordered, we would love for you to do that. And I think there's a couple of ways that you can do that. A couple of levels.
Number one, as I mentioned, be in prayer. We want this to be pleasing in the eyes of God. We think it will be. Mental health from a Christian perspective. It's what this podcast is about, and the book will certainly be that. I think it'll be something that can help the young and the young at heart.
Yeah.
Some of the other ways you can pre-order for $30. You can be what we label a supporter, and that's going to get that book as soon as it's done. It will be shipped to you, and it'll be autographed, not only by Ben and Travis, but Jacob Hennigan, the artist for the book. And then the next level was considered the sponsor. You get an autographed copy shipped to you. You get a free T-shirt while supplies last, and an autographed copy.
You could get that one.
You could get this shirt.
You could.
Autographed copy of Reframing Hope while supplies last. And the reason we say that is because we're going to do this at Pigeon Forge again.
Yep.
And we won't have just a whole lot of T-shirts, so they'll go fast. Books will go fast. But if you order online before then, we will certainly get these things in your hand. And then the highest level is the producer level. At $75, you're going to get an autographed copy shipped to you, free T-shirt, autographed copy of Reframing Hope, and then your name will be featured on a special thanks page in the book.
But wait, there's more.
So, and then you're going to get access to the audiobook narrated by, we'll read our parts.
Yeah.
And then Jacob Hennigan will be our narrator for the book, and he is going to offer Jacob, you don't want our art necessarily, but Jacob Hennigan will be offering a special discount on his prints to go along with it. So you get the supporter, the sponsor, and the producer. All three levels get a copy of the book, autographed.
And what's blown me away is that while we've been in Texas, people here, we've had some other people in other places, but a few of the folks out here have done that last one. The big sponsorship. So those help us a whole lot. So you can do any of them, and we will be happy, and we will rejoice at any of it. But that $75 sponsor really helps us out and going a long way in getting it illustrated, getting it printed, doing all that good stuff.
Yeah, and a few people gave us more than that.
That's awesome.
They gave us more. So
we've already had some people who generously donated even bigger that didn't know about this,
didn't
but
know
they
all
just went
this,
ahead and
but they
donated.
want to be a part of it. Certainly
too.
Can do that. You can go to benandtravis.com. You can go to the store to pre-order. And there's ways to donate as well. I think there's a box up at the top that says give. So that's a great way to do it. As mentioned, CYC Dallas 2024. We jumped on a van on Thursday, drove 12 hours. I rode.
You did.
You drove some.
Unfortunately,
Lonnie drove some. Different. Derek drove some. And we've been here since late Thursday evening. But it's been a great weekend, right? It's one of those things that proves that the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, because I'm tired, but man, has it been a blast.
Been up late. I mean, this one's seriously long. I mean, CYC Pigeon Forge is too, but this one's a little different. It's set up a little different. We go really late at night. I think we didn't even get back to the rooms. Was it last night till like 11:30ish?
Yeah, somebody was doing a game show.
Somebody
just kept
did a game show. I don't know, and we just kept talking. But we had a good time. The youth ministers got up, did a little dance on the stage to see if they could get their kids up, and play some stuff with. So it's because of the smaller crowd, you can do some different things. And so we did some different things on our part. They have Bible class kind of time, which they didn't really break up this year, I guess, into Bible classes per se, but they did have a Bible class that was for the teenagers, and then they had one for the adults. Lonnie and I got to lead that.
Yeah. So what was kind of the topic going on in there? Was it just mental health broadly, or was it youth concern? I mean, I guess it was kind of both.
A little bit of both. It started. Lonnie kind of shared some of his philosophy for youth ministry and ministering to youth in the church, and kind of used the passage that Paul used, I believe, in First Thessalonians chapter 2, if I'm not mistaken, where he just talked about how Paul was speaking of how he was among the people and how he treated them, and then what he was trying to encourage them to do, exhort them to do, and sort of how he uses that as kind of a basis for encouraging youth and knowing what the focus of youth ministry should be. So he kind of led with that, got into some mental health stuff. I talked a little bit just about kind of reaching out and helping, just being a good listener to the kids, getting on their level to speak with them and to help them and encourage them. We talked a little bit about what I do with kids, which is circle back around to our book. I go to Mars Hill. I go to the elementary and read books to each of the classes from TK, which is transitional kindergarten, 4-year-olds, up till to 4th grade, and I read books to them all the time. And so that's why this kind of was born out of that, because I'm constantly looking for books on emotional intelligence, helping kids understand their emotions, helping them understand what to do with their emotions, that their emotions don't have to, control what they do, but they can kind of understand them. And then also with that, understanding other people's emotions. And so when we understand other people's emotions, we can help them with them. We can listen. We can guide them. We can redirect them if necessary. Those sorts of things that sometimes I think in our culture today, we see a lot of, violence. We see a lot of shooting in schools and workplaces, a lot of things like that. So, really helping kids understand those emotions and what to do with those emotions. Hopefully, as they get older, that helps them as teenagers. It helps them as adults. And so that's where the kind of this story or this book thing that we're talking about was born out of, is I wanted more material to be able to use. And I thought, what greater way to do it than tell about us being kids, and then, using some of the things that we've faced along the way. So we're going to talk about worry in the first one. Hopefully, if there's future ones, we're going to talk about, helping kids who are going through divorce, maybe helping kids, or their parents are going through divorce. The kids aren't, obviously, but their parents are, about other things that they may be going through, sicknesses of friends and family members, just things that maybe would help. And like you said, it's, as you're reading the book as a kid, there's been times I've read books as adult and I'm reading them to the kids and I'm like, oh, that was speaking to me, because there's some things that might help me out in it. And so I just think it'd be a great tool to use. And so that's kind of what we talked about in that class.
Yeah. So
and then took a lot of questions.
Yeah, I got to kind of come in for the question and answer part. Yeah. I was filling pre-orders out in the lobby. Yeah. Thankful for those. But I got to slip in and you were telling a story and kind of talking about the importance of play for kids. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you can relay the story that you shared in class on the podcast, but just kind of how, man, what a great story. Not necessarily because there were bad things, but what an illustration of kids using play and kind of their imagination. Yeah, kind of deal with things.
Yeah, years ago when I was starting, I think you're talking about when I was at the I was at a child advocacy center. I won't say which one, but I was working with one a long time ago, and I was new. I was new to the whole thing, and I didn't know what I was really supposed to be doing. And my supervisor would tell me, just go in there and sit with them, let them play, because that's how kids really, that's how they talk to you. They talk to you through their play. That's how they communicate. So sit down with them, get in the floor with them, watch what they're doing, observe what they're doing. At times, if you want to ask questions about what they're doing, that's okay. There's things like that. So I just kept thinking like I needed some technique, I needed to do something powerful. Well, I would go in, and I had a particular student that would come in and put me, like, they had a pair of handcuffs, in there, any kind of thing that you might have just kind of laying around a playroom. And this kid would put me in handcuffs and put me in the corner or keep me in the corner. Didn't really want me to come over there and play. I mean, it wasn't like they forced me over or anything, but they were just kind of like, put them on, and they didn't really want me to interact with them. So I just watched them play. I might ask questions, but they were a little bit distant about it. And so every time I had them, it was like they put me in handcuffs every time they would come in. And so eventually, they unlocked the handcuffs. One session they came over, kind of unlocked the handcuffs, let me sort of start playing with them. And then with some of the dolls that were in there, they reenacted some of the abuse that they had, suffered without me really prompting. They just started going, "This is me. This is what happened." And so through that, I mean, it was like a breakthrough for them because we knew what had happened, but we had never really been, I guess, they hadn't talked about it. We knew, and that was why they were there, but, we had never really talked about it. And so it was a very interesting dynamic.
As the book entitles, The Adventures of Ben and Travis. And so there's a childlike fantasy involved in it, right? Where our brains kind of through play and through imagination either work for us or maybe work against us. And so I just found that really neat. Ben has done most of the writing there. I've assisted some on maybe some of the titles and things of that nature. But yeah, we're very excited. It may not sound like it in our voice because we are tired, but man, I'm just excited.
Because we just got through. We didn't even tell that. We listened to Lonnie tonight. That's not what made us tired. That was fantastic. And then we did SWAT.
Yes, so we just got done.
Currently like 11:30. We just
acting,
got done.
Quotation marks, but giving our best shot at it. And so a lot going on. We've been doing the Ben and Travis game show. The fun thing, first thing this morning, they ended with Ben and Travis last night. They started with Ben and Travis this morning.
Bless their
hearts. God bless them. A lot of grace and mercy. Speakers, classes that you taught class, and then Lonnie spoke tonight, speaks again in the morning, and then skits with a truth.
And as per usual, I guess I would say, is the fact that we got to hang out with really cool people.
Yes.
It's always about, it's not all about the stuff that you hear, even though that we heard some amazing things, but there's people out here that are family now. You know, we've been running into people from Missouri and Texas and all over the place, Louisiana, who have become family. They're our family. They're just, they may be CYC family. They may be, we go to their churches and do some stuff occasionally. And so they are family. They're part of this big, huge, awesome family that we get to be a part of in the church. And as we have talked about before on this podcast, whether we're in Alaska or we're West Virginia or we're in Ohio or we're wherever it is that we find ourselves, like Texas, it's just awesome to have a family. And so I know some of you listening out there, you may have struggled with this at some point, with finding people to be a part of, churches to be a part of. There is one there. And so we would encourage you, don't give up looking. There's somebody out there. There's a family out there, because we have them all over the place. Mm-hmm. And I wish I could go to, say, Fordland and to West Virginia and to some of those churches that we go to and we visit. I wish there was some way I could worship with them every Sunday. Yeah. And still be at Highland Park every Sunday. Yeah. But we can't, but one day we can.
Absolutely. So we're kind of gearing up for 2024, the 25th year of CYC. We're celebrating in Dallas, but also will be Pigeon Forge, 25 years in that neck of the woods. We will be in March. You'll be coming up to Fayetteville for the Helping Healing Humor Mental Health Workshop there at Riverside. We're excited about that. And then in April, the end of April, we'll be going up to, what did I say, Zanesville, Ohio.
I believe that's right.
And so we'll be with a couple of congregations there. They're working together in a community effort. Man, we're excited about that. Another Helping Healing Humor Mental Health Workshop. And so, man, it's going to be a big year. It's here, whether you like it or not, and I'm pretty happy about it. And that's awesome. We would love, once again, for you to jump on, help us with the pre-order. The quicker we reach that 100, the quicker we get this thing done. Of course, 250, we would love to do a big giveaway heading into March in just a few weeks. The mission of Heritage Christian University is simple. They aim to advance the churches of Christ by equipping servants through undergraduate and graduate programs. HCU produces effective communicators of the gospel, focusing on evangelism and a commitment to Scripture. Heritage Christian University offers 5 degrees: Associate of Arts in Biblical Studies, Bachelor of Arts in Biblical Studies, Master of Arts, Master of Ministry, and Master of Divinity. HCU is accredited by the Association for Biblical Higher Education and is an associate member of the Association of Theological Schools. Since 1968, Heritage Christian University has offered affordable degrees in biblical studies, allowing graduates to thrive in their ministries without the burden of loan debt. In fact, most graduates finish at HCU without owing anything for their education. For the spring 2024 semester, HCU is offering full tuition scholarships for the graduate level students. For more information about the scholarships they offer, visit www.hcu.edu. HCU invites you to the 2024 Heritage event at the Marriott Shoals Conference Center. Join them on Saturday, August 24th for an incredible night of music from the legendary Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder. General admission tickets and table sponsorships are available for purchase. Visit hcu.edu to purchase your tickets today. If you think HCU is the perfect university for you, visit hcu.edu to schedule a tour or apply today. Heritage Christian University helps you thrive in your ministry. All right, Ben. As per tradition, we don't talk about this question beforehand. Nope. So I'll try to give you a moment.
No idea what you're about to ask
me. Think about it, but maybe a highlight or two of the weekend, and I'll take 2. And so if you want a 2 or 3, and you may even agree with some of mine, I'm going to go number 1. I think seeing Craig Ray, right? Craig Ray coming, had some battles this year. Mm-hmm. Wasn't sure if we'd get to see him or not. We certainly were hoping on it. We knew if there was any way possible he was going to be here. Yep. And so after still battling cancer, he is still made the trip. It's good to see him. They were all wearing their orange shirts.
They were.
Tonight, told them, man, if you give me the heads up, I'd have wore my orange. And anybody knows me, it's not my forte. It's not my color wheel, as they say. But I would have worn it. And number 2, I think it was, and hopefully this isn't giving away too much, but Rick Schatz in the SWAT Skids says, "Roll Tide."
He does.
And he is an Auburn fan. Now, the best part is so many people out here in Texas have no clue that he's an Auburn fan.
That's right.
And that when he says "Roll Tide," he is sort of poking fun at the rest of the skits of the Truth Guys, because we're all Alabama fans. And so they don't know that.
But he got hammered with some booze.
What we get when we say "Roll Tide" out in public. Booze and jeers. And so it was glorious. That was glorious. So hopefully that didn't give too much away.
No.
About the skits, but we did get a Roll Tide. I don't know that we'll get one in Pigeon Forge or not, but it was awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's gonna be hard to not go with Craig Ray. So
I mean, you took that one. But that's okay. I think for me, I mean, I've already kind of alluded to it though. It's the fellowship time, so I think it's the van ride out, and just the talking, the getting caught up,
trash talking.
Yeah, with a lot of that, but with Derek and Lisa, and with Rick and Michael and Lonnie, we're spending that time together talking. And then we get out here, we go eat together. We spend some time. I mean, it's hard not to say Hard 8 is a big part of it. We love going there. We found a place we loved so much today that we ate there at lunch and ate there at supper. Part of the reason was because we couldn't find a place that was open or wasn't crowded. So we went back there, but it was good both times. And so I think it's just that. It's being together. I love our speakers, and they'll be a little different in Pigeon Forge, but Dan Chambers always hits a home run. Reed did a great job. Lonnie hits a home run as well, like always. And so, just being and listening to to those three guys teach. Didn't get to hear the class because I was in a class, but also got to sit with Lonnie. So I think the lessons, the challenge, I don't get to sit for lessons a lot. I do chapel every day at Mars Hill, and I do several Bible classes throughout the week, and I do a sermon on Sunday. I don't really get to sit and listen to people, so it's nice to go into a class, hear some things, pick up some things, and then just spend some fellowship time with each other, because I needed it this week. I needed it bad. So it was nice to be able to come down here and kind of be with peers. So I know it was for the kids, but we get a lot out of it too.
Absolutely. And as we record this, we'll be making our way home after worship in the morning. We certainly hope we dodge all the frozen, snowy stuff.
Tundra.
And so if you're listening to this on Tuesday and you're snowed in, or maybe you're just out of school, whatever that looks like, or not going to work, once again, like I said, one quick way you can help us to share the link. Be sure to look down in the description. We'll have a link to the pre-order for the Adventures of Ben and Travis and the Worrycoaster, and we'll get that ball rolling. But we're so thankful for all of you that listen. We're thankful for your comments, your reviews. Certainly would love for you to do that. Go rate us 5 stars and leave a good review. Tell us what you like about the episodes, and give us some feedback. We would prefer if you've got some constructive criticism to do that at hello@benandtravis.com, not necessarily in the reviews. But thanks for listening, and we'll talk at you again.
This episode of Helping Healing Humor podcast with Ben and Travis is brought to you by Daisy's Place. In 2003, little Daisy was fighting for her life. Each time she went into ICU, Carolyn, her mom, had no place to put her things or rest. Do you have a story like mine? When your loved one is in the hospital, the last thing you need to worry about is a place to rest. Daisy's Place is a free place to stay in Florence, Alabama, while your loved ones need you the most. Daisy's Place needs you. Share your gifts as a volunteer, spread the word, donate, and sponsor to help serve others in their time of need. Go to daisysplace.org. That's DAISYS-PLACE.org. Or give Carolyn a call at 256-629-6729. That's 256-629-6729.
Thanks for being with us for this episode of the Helping Healing Humor podcast. Be sure to download our free ebook, 28 Days of Focused Living, at benandtravis.com and receive all of our Helping Healing and Humor extra content directly in your inbox. We look forward to having you join us at the same Ben and Travis time, same Ben and Travis channel.